We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16.
Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. You know we're always watching how Coach Prime and Colorado are doing. Interesting first game right now. They are about 9.5 favorites against North Dakota State this weekend. Plus, all newbies getting into the college spirit. Here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Jenkins. That's code Jenkins, Jenkins, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action.
Dedication.
Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Tuesday, August 27th, and we are coming to you live in the chat on the Scarlets and the Opals.
Scarlets and the Opals.
As always, Jenkins and Jonez is hosted by Dragonfly Jonez, a.k.a. Tyler.
Hey, everybody, how we doing?
LaJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's that, Bubbas?
I'm Guardy B, a.k.a. Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
We're produced by Jackie Hoops himself, Jackie Saffon.
Wow.
And I'm just going to say, we got to just work him into, so you're going to have to be prepared, Josh, but I'm going to just start working you into the intro every time. We're actually produced by Josh Rodriguez.
Oh, I got to get it.
How you doing? I know that they can't hear him on the
recording
YouTube.
at all.
They can't hear him on the YouTube, but yeah.
Recording though, right?
They can
Okay,
now.
okay.
They can now.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, so you had this like at
Jackson figured it out.
You knew how to do this and you didn't do it until now?
Well, no. We've been able to have 5 people on Zoom for a minute now. But sometimes when we have guests, I'm the 5th. So like it's not always
preloaded
consistent
or whatever.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But special thank you everyone in the chat, especially, but all the Jenkins and Jonez listeners. I went and looked at some of the chat and comments on the YouTube video from when we all were hanging out at John's house. Y'all are sweet as hell, bro. Greatly appreciated.
Can I tell y'all I miss y'all? Like recording, getting on here, I was like, I wish we were in the same room. I wish y'all were here again. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
the vibes are immaculate in person.
Yeah, man. I like get to like smell y'all niggas. You know what I mean? Not too weird. You know what I mean? But like, no, like hugging you.
That
guys,
real pheromone podcast.
Yeah, like I get to hug you after the pod. You know what I mean? Like it's cool, bro.
I really appreciate Tyler living in Virginia, because if he had moved out to LA, then everyone would be looking at me right now. You know what I mean? Like if only Mike would drive up to LA 3 times a week. We could fucking
Shit. If I was moving to California, I'd probably be in Long Beach. Motherfucking John would have to be making his way out that motherfucker.
Yeah. I want to move to Long Beach. That's the goal. We already know about that. We've been talking about it for hella. So yeah.
All right. We were talking about something, and I want to bring it up on the pod. But John, we were talking about frankincense. Why did you bring up frankincense?
Y'all were talking about scarlets and opals, and you know what I'm saying. I'm thinking like frankincense and myrrh, like in the same.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I looked up what frankincense is.
Yeah.
What is? You want to hear it?
Yeah.
It's an aromatic resin used in incense and perfumes.
Resin.
Yeah, I mean the word incense is right in the motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't. So
I suppose it is.
It's Frank's incense. Come on down to Frank's incense.
Frank's red hot and Frank's incense, and next side by side, it's a father son business.
Not created that yet. Why can I go to Frank's incense yet? You know what I mean? That makes
Why
so much sense.
had I not realized that? The English word frankincense derives from the old French expression frankincense, meaning true incense, maybe with the sense of high quality. It just means good incense. That's what
they gave baby Jesus that real, you know what I'm saying? They gave him that top flight.
I have frankincense in my facial wash. And I'm like, how do you like? I thought I didn't know. That's why I realized it was real. I thought frankincense and myrrh was like some made up shit.
Right.
I didn't think it was, you know what I mean? Like,
What
where
were the
do you
gifts? They gave him frankincense, myrrh, and there were 3 gifts he got, right? From 3 wise
frankincense and
men.
Frankincense,
they gave that nigga some
myrrh,
incense?
and
He
no,
black,
I,
bro.
I think it was
we know you don't wash your legs, so go ahead and rub this under your armpits, nigga.
That's how you know Jesus black. Gave him a packet of that now. What is it? That now shampoo, whatever the fuck.
We ain't them, nigga.
Yeah.
We different.
But can you imagine 2,000 years ago with a baby, how incredible good perfume or incense would have been? Because that, you know what I mean? Everything smelled like shit 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine.
Okay. I think the places didn't smell like shit. Like the cities stink for the most.
They didn't have a place to put garbage, John.
Oh wow.
I mean, or poop. You know what I mean?
But they shedding holes, right? Like okay.
I mean, like in England until fairly recently, like on the global scale,
a
poop was
larger
just
city like
coming
that,
out of
yeah.
the castles.
Rats, all types of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chamber
For
pots.
sure.
Motherfuckers were shitting in pots, dog.
Throwing that shit out the window.
Yeah.
Good luck, nigga.
Isn't that where isn't that where the thing about what order men and women walk in? Isn't that where that comes from? That it's like the man has to be further away from the wall because that's where the poop and the shit would be. The shit and piss would be thrown out.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Lord,
tough times.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah.
I think it was just frankincense and myrrh. And is it myrrh or myrrh?
It's M-I or M-U? I thought it was M-I.
M-Y, I think.
It's frankincense, myrrh, and gold.
Oh, okay. I thought you were thinking of parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme or something. I thought it was just frankincense and myrrh. Okay, and gold.
They gave this nigga frankincense and then gold. I mean, that's
myrrh is the same perfume thing too. So it was really like you're gonna smell like shit because you're a baby and there's no showers, but you're gonna smell good and here's gold. That's
some fire gifts,
that's a
bro.
care
That's
package.
very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Yeah.
All right. That was Bible talk. Jenkins and Jonez.
Oh, is that from the Bible? I was like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Can't have Jesus out here being.
I was straight up so confused this whole time. I've heard of Jesus, but that's about it.
The most famous baby shower gifts in history. The 3 wise men brought frankincense, myrrh, and gold to the baby Jesus.
Oh. Dude, I just found out that Jesus and God are the same person like 3 weeks ago.
That's a matter of some
and the Holy Ghost.
that's a matter of
the Holy Trinity. You hear me?
Okay, got it.
One of the funniest.
What exactly does the Holy Ghost do in all this? He feels like the Chris Bosh of like that big 3. Like we know what Jesus does. We know that God does.
The Holy Ghost might be closer to Braun, to be honest with you, because the Holy Ghost is versatile.
Yep.
It's so versatile.
Yep. I feel like doing like the he's Jesus and God, but he also can do the, you know what I'm saying, the little side shit. You feel me? Like he's dropping off assists and whatnot. You know what I mean? He making sure the offense set up. You feel what I'm saying? Wow. Like, you know, he's yelling on defense and offense. You know, hey, bro, you know, he knows everybody's, you know, what they should be doing on offense and D. So that's how I feel about the Holy Ghost. You know what I mean?
Chase down blocks and hit you right in your pocket.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Can finish on the fast break or start the fast break. You feel what I'm saying?
One of the most enlightening experience of my life, and y'all know I didn't grow up religious, but Shar was a religious studies major at UCLA. But have I told y'all, so I've gotten a lot of stuff through her, but have I told y'all after 9/11, so 9/11 after my senior year of high school, one of my best friends in high school was Muslim. His name was Akbar. And it was not a great time to be a Muslim dude named Akbar in America.
For sure.
And so we started a like Muslim friendship club, basically, that was like, he just wanted to explain his religion to people who were curious, to just explain like, hey, it's a lot of Muslims out here. My people didn't blow this shit up. I'm more likely to have family working there than whatever else. But we did a series of, it was like a very religious teacher on campus, very Christian religious. And he had like a, poly Christians club or whatever. And we did a series of lunchtime, like not debates, but just explorations of like, what are the differences and similarities between these religions? And we spent basically the whole year getting through, well, the Holy Trinity, like, because for Muslims, they're like, the Holy Trinity sounds like some, you believe in more than one God shit, brother. Like, I don't think your Abrahamic religion is as Abrahamic as you thought it was.
Yeah.
And so we basically spent the whole year getting to like, no. They believe that the Trinity is all one thing. So it's just three faces of the same crystal, however you want to describe it. And so after about a year of, we got through senior year, it was like a handshake, like, well, we checked the first thing off the list. It was a real like, we're not really gonna put all this shit together, but the effort is there. You know what I mean?
Don't they believe like Muhammad's the nigga? Like that's the one that handled all the shit. Like
the prophet. Allah is the God.
Yeah, and for us, Jesus is the nigga that like came down and.
No, but Muhammad is not is a separate person. Is a person.
He's
so
exactly.
interpreting. So it's more like Moses. It's more like Moses than like Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus is like a demigod of sorts in Christianity, and Islam doesn't have that. Prophets are
but what I'm saying, like the lead character in the Bible in the Bible is Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
In the New Testament, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, like he knows who Jesus is. Jackson knows who Jesus is. We don't know shit else about the Bible. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
He's never even heard of frankincense.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Muhammad is that person, you know what I mean, in the Quran, right?
No, I wouldn't say.
He's like, I'd say he's more Moses is kind of the more apt comparison in regards to being he's more so
the main character. Is he the
He has first billing.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm not a one-to-one comparison. I'm just wondering if he's the guy, to Muslim people. You feel me? Cool.
Go find 4 people less qualified to have this conversation than the 4 of us. I dare you.
I just heard of the incense guy. I don't even know.
Because of some
I ain't even met Frank, Nick. Yeah. You feel me? Goddamn.
That was pretty good, though. I don't know. I think we did pretty good. All right.
That's pretty good.
Speaking of people who are or are not qualified to offer constructive criticism, Anthony Edwards, who we love and support, stepped out and said that the only skilled basketball player of his era and generation was Michael Jordan. And I haven't seen someone make Magic Johnson take the corporate face off in a minute, but he got under Magic's skin with that comment because Magic came out and it was no jokey joke. Smiling Magic Johnson. It was, this motherfucker's not qualified to talk about me or anyone else in my generation. What did y'all think of the exchange? And does it hurt seeing Ant be super wrong on such a big scale?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at Ant because you can tell that it's not from a place of maliciousness. It's just Ant being a young kid who's not hip to that era. He flat out said, I haven't watched a lot of hoops from that era, but I know MJ was like the only skilled one. And I'm like, okay, well, those two don't correlate there. But I mean, I like Magic finally, taking that route because it's just like it's a continuing thing that we have to exalt MJ by putting everyone else down from his era, right? And that's just no. Magic Johnson, bro, to me, he is the hands down 4th greatest basketball player of all time. Like, I firmly believe that there's the GOAT tier where it's MJ, Kareem, and Bron. They're on the GOAT tier. The tier directly under them is Magic Johnson. He's on that motherfucker by himself. Then it's everyone else, bro. Like, look, Magic Johnson in 12 years was a 12-time All-Star, went to 9 finals in 12 years, won 5 rings. From when he was 17 to 20, he went on this run. He won states. He won Mr. Basketball Michigan. He won a college championship. He won most outstanding player of the Final Four. He won finals MVP his rookie season and gave us one of the most impressive closeout games in finals history as a rookie, game 6, when Kareem was out and he had to play center, had 42, 15, and 7. And he accomplished all that from when he was 17 to 20, right? Like, Magic, is a super incredible basketball player. I think we might be at the point where we're underestimating a little bit because Steph is 100%. For sure. Because we had the discussion where people were saying Steph was better. I was like, nah, Steph is hands down the 2nd best point guard ever, but nobody's touching Magic in regards to that. And like I said, I think he's the 4th greatest basketball player of all time. So I see why Magic had to remind motherfuckers like nah, shit was real and I was one of them ones, and I'm not gonna stand for you disrespecting my era. So I ain't mad at Magic.
I mean, I feel like, Magic don't get the love he deserves. And I feel like he probably realized that when Steph was like, he's the GOAT, and people were actually arguing whether Magic was better than Steph or not. Steph's supposed to say he's better, of course. You know what I'm saying? Say you're better. But like, if we looking at like, careers, it's very obvious who's the better point guard. You know what I'm saying? Magic is a better point guard. You feel me? So I think this could have been a residual. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're like, of what Steph said. We're like, okay, y'all kind of tweaking. Do you remember who the fuck I am? And then like Ant saying this shit on some like MJ was the only, like, nigga, look at the resume, my nigga. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Look at also look at how I played, not just the resume, because he could have been good amongst bums. This nigga was a great basketball player. You know what I'm saying? He played the position in a way we had never seen anybody play the position before him. You feel me? So I mean, this is, I feel like he doesn't get the love he deserves. And maybe at this point he's thinking that like, yo, man, y'all forget who the fuck I really am. I was really him. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, man. I do feel like didn't say it like he didn't say it with his nuts. You know what I mean? He did, he just was like making a flippant comment. And Magic's like, I'm not the nigga to be flipping with. Be flipping with these other motherfuckers, but don't play with my name. You feel me? And I respect that. You know what I mean?
I feel like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird both have gotten just consistently underrated in the last 5 to 10 years, as Steph has been amazing and Kevin Durant has been amazing. Everyone's like, oh, those two guys are this generation's version of Magic and Bird, and everyone's saying they're better. Or a lot of people
think KD's better than Bird.
And like,
I do.
Right, sure, but like even so, like Larry Bird was either first or second in MVP 6 straight seasons.
I think Larry Bird's the third best small forward ever.
He had multiple 50, 40, 90 seasons in that era when no one even really cared.
For him?
He He basically invented 3-point shooting and had 50, 40, 90 seasons, multiple of them. Like he won 3 straight MVPs. Like there's a lot of these guys from that era I feel like are getting underrated because the skill and the athleticism is so
I think there's a couple other things. One is Magic in particular suffers from being famous at a lot of things at this point. I mean, he's I think to the average younger person, he's as famous for being a business person or for being involved
Snoop,
in
basically, right?
100%. And I think it's a very similar thing where like, you talk to kids in middle school and stuff. Do they know how raw early Snoop was as a rapper? No. Probably, he's a totemic symbol of a genre of things or something. I think you hit that on the head. But it's interesting you bring up Snoop, because I was going to say I think this Anthony Edwards thing reminds me very much of when Vince Staples, where people were upset at Vince for, oh, you're supposed to be a rapper, but you don't understand the true legacy of Tupac or rappers from the 80s or something. And Vince Staples' response was like, I'm young. I'm not an old fucking person like you. And I think it's something very similar with Ant. Like Michael Jordan, we think of still as a recent era of basketball. Michael Jordan's career was over when Anthony Edwards was born. Him talking about Michael Jordan would be the same as us talking about basketball players born in the early 1950s when we were kids. So like but because of the continuity of the media narratives and the GOAT versus whatever, you expect there to be this like familiarity, but it's like, why would he know about basketball in the 80s? Like you don't expect people to really sit down and become students. I don't expect young people to sit down and become students when we're making them multimillionaires when they're 18,
Also, the game has changed so much. You know what I mean? Like, what does he really gain by going and watching these games currently? There's certain players that like you could take a piece of their game. You know what I'm saying? But the game has changed so much. So it's not as relevant like 80s basketball for him to sit down and like be a student of that. For what? You're not going to take much of that game of that era and bring it into this era of basketball. It's just so different now.
And I also think that in these basketball discussions, too much of a premium is placed on athleticism. I think that you can for sure probably make the case that MJ was perhaps the most athletic player in the league during his era. The best mid-air adjuster we've ever seen in the sport, right? Just a phenomenal athlete. But bro, like you're like Ant, you are playing in today's NBA when 2 of the 3 best players in the world are some chubby dudes from Eastern Europe with lunch lady arms. Like we put way too much of a premium on athleticism. If you can play basketball, you can play basketball, bro. Like that's why I never bought into those knocks that Magic and Larry Bird weren't super athletes and they wouldn't thrive in today's era. No, because I think that's a reason why they would thrive in today's era, because they've got that fucking supercomputer brain,
right?
A basketball brain where they can work past those limitations, right? Like I said, if you see Jokic and fucking Luka out here killing, why wouldn't you think Magic and Bird will kill?
Right. You don't think Magic would be considered an athlete? Like not Magic in the 80s, but Magic in the 80s was an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like
he was tall.
He wasn't. He didn't have.
How many times you seen Magic dunk, bro?
He didn't have the vertical athleticism that you expect people now to have. Yeah.
I mean, now
I think he would. But that's what he's talking about.
In that era, he wasn't considered athletic.
No, he was considered an anomaly because of 6'9" point guard, but no one considered him a super athlete. No,
I know he wasn't Dominique or nothing, but yeah.
But I think I don't know. All this stuff always happens on the cross-generational thing. It is what it is. But yeah, like Magic and Bird, I think kids now feel like Michael Jordan invented the NBA. And it's like, well, Magic and Bird are the one. Everyone got paid off Magic and Bird.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't hold it against.
I think both of them will be exactly who that were there in this era.
Yeah.
I think those are when you get into the top 10 all time, top 15, I don't think era matters. You know what I'm saying? I think we're talking about guys that are in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I feel like if there was a league above the league, they'd be good at that league. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just feel like when we get to, but
that's like when people are like, oh, they couldn't shoot the three. Well, it's like they didn't shoot the three because they weren't practicing shooting the three, but they were the best in the world at the thing everyone was practicing.
Available to, yeah. You feel
and so you just have to assume, like, I use Shohei Ohtani currently as an example. Shohei's one of the best power hitters and best pitchers in the league. He can't pitch this year. I think he stole 19 bases last year. This year, he's okay. I can't pitch. I'm gonna become the best base stealer in baseball. And you know what I mean? He went from
is he really cold like that on a base path?
Yes.
He is a 40-40
He is the fifth
season,
ever MLB 40-40 season, and he did it 30 games faster than anyone else has ever done it. He's going to be probably almost certainly the first 45 home runs and stolen base guy ever. But John, he didn't work on stealing bases until this year. He stole 19 last year. 6'6", I think.
And he's still fucking.
Yeah, but my point,
this nigga, bro. Y'all can't.
Oh, he's a one-on-one,
like
bro. He's a one-on-one. Yeah, he's a one-on-one.
Like that is.
But my point
who's
being,
stealing bases at 6'6".
But my point being, if he decided to go be the best third baseman in the world next year, he'd probably be able to do it because he's like. And so it's similar to these dudes where you say, "Oh, he couldn't shoot the three." He goes, "Well, because he wasn't working on shooting the three in 1970 or whatever the fuck." You know what I mean? Anyway, all right,
nigga. Why did you send me this information, Mike?
I texted the group chat about it.
He did.
Oh, man. A lot of times you send me the baseball shit individually. Damn, that is.
No, I texted the group chat because he's the fifth ever 40-40.
Yeah.
Everyone else who did it in like 145 to 160 games. He did it in 120. And if you look at it, I think two of the four guys that had done it before him were like lab freak steroid users. Yeah. So you know what I mean? And I saw it's interesting because of people, the allegiance to Barry Bonds, which I understand. People are like,
Barry didn't do it. I'm surprised
he did do it.
Okay. He did it with the Pirates.
With the Giants.
Right? Oh, the Giants? Okay.
You know, but people are like, oh, congrats. Shohei now has Barry Bonds' 11th best season. No. Shohei 120 games into the season has Barry Bonds' 11th best season. You know what I mean? He's got another 40 games where he could do some shit. And his 40th home run was a walk-off grand slam. He's fucking different. Anyway, let's talk about, speaking of the changing of the guard in hoops, Cooper Flagg, savior of the NBA.
I'd be selling my nut, bro. I'll be selling it, bro. Like, nigga. You want to have
what?
a fucking...
For what? For what?
Dude, I don't... It'd be at least 7 figures.
Per shot?
He's a god. For
a one-hitter?
Nigga, good luck if it work or not. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your body, not mine, obviously. You feel me? Because I am not human. He's a demigod, bro. I'm telling you. You want to... At minimum, the athlete's going to be a professional athlete, right? You know what I'm saying? At minimum, they'll be a pro athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, G. Like,
is that legal? It is, right?
if I was Shohei, I'd be looking it up. I've been looking it up. I would have that information on hand for you if I was that nigga right now. For sure. I'm only 5'11". I'm a regular nigga, so I don't need to know that information. But if I was Shohei, I guarantee I would have somebody look that shit up for sure. Ain't no way.
I don't know that anyone in America is more famous than Shohei Ohtani is in Japan. We went to the Japanese grocery store we go to in Torrance, and he's on 18 different products. And then they get such big viewership in Japan that half of the ads in Dodger Stadium are in Japanese at this point.
1992 famous.
Yeah.
2024 in Japan. Yeah.
Right. But like our friend who works in Japan said, it's like, the games are on at weird times, obviously. But they said when Shohei's batting, people would like the TV's on for every Dodger game in every corporate boardroom in Japan. When he's batting, everyone just stops talking and watches, and then when it's over, they just resume.
Can you? I would love to just witness that. You know what I'm saying? Without knowing it's a thing,
right?
And seeing everybody stop just like without knowing it's coming.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Speaking of the changing of the guard in hoops, Cooper Flagg signed with New Balance this week. Gentlemen, this is a very different world than we grew up in for young basketball fans at this point. Was that kind of I'm an old motherfucker moment, or how did you feel about, the next guy going to a company like New Balance?
I mean, New Balance has been trying to make waves in the athletic sneaker department. I will just always view them as like a running shoe company and a casual shoe company. I don't know if I'll ever really view them as a hoop shoe company. I know Kawhi was kind of like their first really big signing, but I don't know. I mean, Cooper Flagg might know his demographic. I'm sure there's a lot of New Balance wearers that support Cooper Flagg, so that might be a good business move there.
I was like, there's some people that are connected to New Balance that I think are really dope, and they do some great collaborations. Joe Freshgoods. There's a lot of cool people. I think that dude from ALD is the creative director there. So like as far as a brand, Action Bronson has a collaboration with them. As far as a brand, I think they're one of the cooler brands out right now. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like, as far as a hoop shoe, I remember I played with a nigga named Ammon that wore New Balance, and we was clowning the fuck out his ass in high school. Like, nigga, you have I didn't know they made hoop shoes, but this ain't that time period. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I know they had them shits. And, where the fuck you buy them motherfuckers at? Big Five, nigga. But I thought them shits was fake. But yeah, G, like I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too mad at it because I feel like a lot of the things that are going on with New Balance are really dope. And I feel like a lot of the athletic companies, a lot of the collaborations ain't hitting like that. One of my favorite collaborations this year is with Saucony. Well, it's Saucony, but I would say Saucony just for the culture.
I say
but
Saucony.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yeah. Niggas say Saucony.
You feel me? Yeah. Saucony. Scarlets and opals and frankincense and Saucony.
But I think his name's Jay Tips. He had a dope ass collaboration. So a lot of my favorite collaborations are with sneaker companies that aren't the ones that we grew up like. If it wasn't Nike, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, mean, or Jordan or whatever. But Jordan, I think Jordan's on the way to do some cooler things than they have in the past. But yeah, for the most part.
But I think you talked about what New Balance has going on. Tyler talked about what Cooper Flagg has going on. My take on it is I think it says a lot about what Nike does not have going on right now. Because Cooper Flagg was an EYBL. He was a Nike kid.
Oh, he was a Nike kid?
And so they signed, for the history of their company, we take it for granted, but there was a couple key employees that they had who were making sure that pipeline existed from someone staying in touch with you from Nike from the time they first saw you when you were 14 until it was time to sign a shoe deal. Nico Harrison is running, is it the Mavs, I believe? George Ravling's retired. So at least for the Southern California guys, those were always the dudes that were like the business card that stayed in the wallet.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I think it's just kind of, this happens to companies. You take some things for granted. I've been on the Nike campus. You've never seen any shit like that before. They have Tiger Woods buildings that are like it's a museum, but you get big enough and you can kind of forget about, you need the plug. You do need the one guy that's locking up a 16-year-old and making sure mom and dad know they could call him if they need anything or whatever. And I don't know. I think they might need to at the risk of upsetting the resources, they might need to do some work to make sure that bridge still exists.
I think like outside of collaborations, because Nike has a bunch of collaborations too. I think Nike got away from a particular thing in marketing, which was storytelling. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember the Jordan commercial for the Jordan 12s? When he was driving through the lane, he spun and dunked the basketball. Y'all remember that commercial?
Not really.
Well, I remember. Okay, basically the commercial is the nigga drove to the basket. He spins in the lane, dunks the basketball. This is Jordan. This is for the like white and black 12s when they first let us know they were dropping, right? And they're playing like some fucking like classical music in the background, and basically like everybody's watching the TV, like the world stopped. And that's what it felt like when watching MJ for me. Like I didn't give a fuck what else was going.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And so like there was that, you know what I'm saying? The Jordan 20 when they got Spike Lee to tell the story of MJ. You remember that shit? He was sitting on the stoop. You know, like there's like those moments where I felt like they were moments. And I feel like Nike makes a lot of cool shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's not substantive in the same way. You know what I mean? So I feel like New Balance, the things they do, like they're allowing Joe Freshgoods create in the way that Joe creates. He's being a whole Chicago ass nigga under their flag. You know what I'm saying? And so it feels very genuine and authentic. And I think they've kind of got away from that a little bit. And I feel like, yeah, you can make really cool things that look beautiful, but everybody's doing that. What are you going to do to make shit stick? Like the shit they did with Schoolboy Q with Tiger, where that shit hit because it felt really genuine and authentic. You know what I mean? They need to get back to that if they're going to keep, you know, I mean, you just can't, you know, I think they're getting away from that as far as when it comes to marketing, which is things that really appeal to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nike been resting on their laurels for a minute, dog. Like,
I agree.
Their newest shit does not move me at all. Like 90% of the Nikes I own are like retros, like shit from the 90s and shit, right?
They've been relying on that shit.
Yeah. Like it should be a fucking moment when the new Bronze drop, when the new KDs drop, right? And it like it was with the Jordans and shit with us and the pennies with us when we were kids. But it's just like, you know,
I think basketball shoes have gotten so basketball-y. We're like, nigga, like what was cool about the Deons and shit and the fucking Reggie Whites and all that shit? Nigga, I could wear them shits with my clothes. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it was a great shoe to hoop in. Like you could actually hoop in it. I hooped in in high school. I hooped in Jordans. A great shoe to hoop in, but I could also wear Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like a lot of people have gotten away from that type shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like that, like LeBron's. It seems like LeBron's can only be worn by LeBron. You know what I mean? Like
you love talking about marketing. I say you love talking about this stuff because your
I like
eyes
the creative side of it.
Yeah.
I like the creative side of it. I like when the idea side of the shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I really think it's interesting when companies like working at a particular company, and y'all can deduce what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That was a big ass company that, you know, lost the sauce. You feel what I'm saying? I see how motherfuckers lose the sauce to get comfortable. You know what I mean? Like you said, resting on your laurels, and you become a huge company in a time period where it's important to be able to make a left turn very quick and very hard. And if you're a big ass company, it's very hard to do that with all this red tape. And I think that's really interesting how companies make these shifts and how companies get comfortable. And then before you know it, you know what I'm saying? Cooper Flagg is signed a New Balance.
Yeah.
And what I think is cool about New Balance's shift is that, to your point about basketball shoes being so basketball-y, like I looked up who their other athletes are, not just basketball, but outside of basketball. And I don't know if any of them have a signature shoe, but it's more about the brand at large than a specific shoe, right? They have Kawhi Leonard, who I think has a shoe, but like outside of Kawhi Leonard, they have Jamal Murray, Tyrese Maxey, Cameron Brink, Shohei Ohtani, Coco Gauff, Sidney McLaughlin. That is a wide-reaching, heavy hitters,
and it's vibe,
brand
it's
play.
Vibe there, particularly about the people that
right. It's not just about like basketball shoe. It's like we look at the collection of talent that we have. It is very, very cool.
Exactly. And then also like a company that was really good at that was Adidas until they fucked up with Kanye. But Adidas were leaning dope into the culture, really far into the culture too. And they started to do like they were making real big waves with like like the outside of like sports type shit. You know what I'm saying? With the leisure shit. You know what I mean? And I mean they got away from it. But yeah, I feel like New Balance is like kind of took that and they running with that shit, bro. But like I said, like Jackson pointed out, these people are not just like really good at sport. These are people you want to sit down and hang with. You know what I mean? So they're being very intentional about the people that they're putting, the New Balance on. So like Tyrese Maxey, come on, G. Like
it feels like there for New Balance is very aware of their identity, where they know they're a lifestyle brand first and foremost, where people.
And that's what I was looking for, a lifestyle clothes.
Yeah,
that's what the was leaning into.
Right. Like I said, like their whole shit to me is running and casual shit, right? Like and running is a lifestyle, casual shit, that's lifestyle shit too. So they're leaning into athletes who have, big personalities, athletes who people are interested on a personal level, like Cameron Brink, Shohei. So I definitely think New Balance is making good moves with that.
Yeah. So I mean, bro, like I see why he would sign with it. I know like it's for us, and like also, and I'm keeping it a stack, bro. Damn, my bro, like motherfucker. Damn, that shit gonna pick up crazy.
You need me to burp
you?
You?
Sound like Shola, right? I thought you rub one out of me, brother. But
listen, we could use better terminology.
Yeah, I didn't want to though. I wanted to use that. I wanted to be sus. But anyway, yeah, I feel like that's the point. What we're talking about? New Balance, right?
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Talking sus, and I just fucking.
Yeah, your brain took that hard turn, brother.
Got too excited, bro.
Well, I was gonna say, just when Jackson brought that up, I googled to see what they spent on Ohtani, and he's been signed with them for like 2 years, and no one has leaked the figure.
Yeah,
but which is crazy.
Yeah,
but it was rumored to be more than he was making with the Angels, apparently, and of a sizable enough amount that's why he was able to do the deferred cash deal with the Dodgers. It was like, well, they're already paying me $30 million a year or whatever to wear shoes. So,
I remember the point. The point was, if you look at a lot of the motherfucking shoes people are wearing out, like I don't wear the cool shit that I've bought over the years. A lot of that shit sitting in the crib. Like I'll bust my Asics, you feel me? Like Hellas, those get a lot of wear. You know what I mean? I saw a chick get a fit off in some sockets. I'm like, man, do I want them motherfuckers? Them shit's hard as shit. Like a lot of shit niggas is wearing this cozy, comfortable shit and really getting their issues off with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's kind of the market's kind of different right now, bro. Like you just can't, get a Travis Scott to do a shoe with you or like a big name and make sure that shit's crack. Gonna crack. I feel like the whole collaboration thing, if it's not super genuine, people ain't really gonna trip off it no more, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and also people really want comfortable. Like you can't play about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people are wearing New Balance. A lot of people wearing Asics. It looked like the DMV throughout the fucking nation right now, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. We got the news early this morning. It had been rumored for a couple of days. I don't know if this will be of interest to literally anyone here besides me, but did you guys hear that Oasis is getting back together?
Tyler, they do this shit like every other year.
No, they haven't played together in 15 years, bro.
I mean, I feel like they announced that shit. Like, I feel like this isn't the first we're announcing. Oh wait, bro, Liam and Noah have such a unique relationship. Like, we should. I don't know if we should know that two brothers hate each other as much as they do. I feel like that shit should be in house, bro.
Liam said, "I used to love my mom until she birthed Noel." That's a quote from.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
But it was like, I guess, and I'm not, obviously I am an Oasis fan, but I do not follow the paparazzi tabloid shit or whatever. Apparently over the last 6 months, they've started saying nice things about each other in interviews for the first time in like a decade, Tyler, of like, when I would write a song and sing it, it would be good. But then Liam would sing it and it would be the fucking best song of all time. So it was like, they've sort of started warming up to each other. But yeah, they announced a tour of England and the UK, and then I think they're coming to America for like 4 shows or something like that are going to be fucking insane. But I'm very excited. First of all, anytime you get stories with quotes by those two dudes about each other, it's great because they're the most insane quotes anyone's ever said about a family.
Don't hold back, those motherfuckers legit fucking hate each other, dude.
Liam said about a solo album of Noel's like 5 years ago, it's an unsophisticated album from an unsophisticated man.
God damn, that's that British shit talking right there too, bro. A motherfucker probably sipped some tea after he said that shit. God damn. But yeah, Oasis, man, it's just, I'm gonna get on my old man shit. Like,
let's do it, baby.
Yeah, bro. What's the story? Morning Glory. That's like the perfect 90s alternative rock album, dog. It's like it's an album that I feel like has two fucking first ballot Hall of Fame karaoke songs on there with Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova.
And it was like the 4th and 6th single.
Right. Yeah. It was like I remember the buzz around Oasis, and it wasn't even hyperbole. Like critics were saying it. They were like, this is the second coming of the Beatles. Like that's how big Oasis was during their run in their 90s. So yeah, man. They hold a special place in my heart back when fucking rock was actually like
a genre,
right? When it was a genre, when it was a big fucking deal, when you would just turn your TV on to MTV and let it ride, and you got hip to some new rock shit that you never heard of, but you fucked with and shit. Like yeah, man, Oasis is just, they hold a very special place in my heart as like a quintessential 90s rock band and like a quintessential like MTV era band too.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. What's the Story? Morning Glory is one of my, I would guarantee one of the 10 most listened to albums of my, it's like a go-to if I feel like shit, but I need to go work out or I need to like pick this has been a go-to album for like 20 years or something for me. But I think there's also something to me that's exciting about the timing of so much shit we liked in the 90s has come back and sucked. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I've been a huge Pixies fan for 25 years, 30 years, whatever. I've gone and seen some Pixie shows with Fat Frank Black, bro. Like, I still love the Pixies. It was cool to be there, but it's not you know what I mean? Like, you're not seeing what you remember from being a kid or whatever. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they basically Obama got in office, they said everyone's in a good mood, and then they just went into a hole. Like, we just haven't seen shit like from them over the last 50 years. So I don't know. Hopefully it works out. I don't know what the chances are they make it. They still are a band by the time they get to America. We'll see.
It's just a relic from a bygone era. I feel like streaming killed the rock group, where there's just not enough money in that shit to cut the pie 4 or 5 ways anymore. I think streaming killed the rap group, killed the rock group, killed the R&B group. I think it just killed the music group, period. And like I said, I do miss, how it felt in the 90s when rock was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And Oasis was like at the center of that shit for a few years.
I can never keep the brothers straight, but one of them literally said that, Tyler. I saw an interview with him where he was making his own, he was brewing tea for himself, like during the interview.
That British shit, man.
And then he went off on a 5-minute rant. I'm like, you want to know why kids want to be podcasters and not rock stars anymore? He's like, because I'm making my own fucking tea. He said in the 90s, we had a guy on staff who all he did was make us tea.
Oh, that's real.
He was like, there was so much money around that you would just pay people to follow you around and provide you with tea when you were ready for some tea. He's like, he's like, what 16-year-old boy wants to make his own fucking tea?
Hey, that's poetic as fuck, though. God damn.
All right, Jackson, do we have a couple Stump the Olds to round us out here on our Tuesday pod?
We do. We do have a Stump the Olds. I created a game within the Stump the Olds game this time, which is I've been seeing a lot of people talking about like new home decor trends. And so what I've done is I found a list of some with like kind of funny names from a website, Men's Journal or something like that. And so I'm going to give you 2 at a time. One of them is a real home decor like style that has become trendy. And one of them I've made up. And you have to guess which one is the real home decor trend. Okay. First up, which of these is real? Quiet luxury or anti-Gothic?
I'd say anti-Gothic. I think that sounds like a real style.
I'm gonna vote for quiet luxury.
Sounds made up, but I think that's why it's a real.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably leaning on the definition of the suffix anti, meaning like pre-Gothic and not opposed to Gothic.
Oh wow.
Like, early medieval type shit, perhaps. Maybe. That's the angle I'm going with, but
I'm going quiet luxury. But I think your reasoning is sound that he would make up one that sounded fake. He would make up one that sounded less fake than the one he was doing.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
The correct answer is quiet luxury.
Okay. Wow.
Quiet luxury is real. It is apparently combined textures, limited prints, classic lighting, natural materials and elements.
This is
our
exactly
house. What it sounds like.
We have a mid-century modernist influenced quiet luxury statement going on. That's
Right. All right, second one. Which is real? Rich Uncle Chic or Coastal Grandma?
Those both sound real to me. I could picture exactly what both of those are.
Exactly.
I think I've actually seen Coastal Grandma. Like, I think that makes sense.
Rich Uncle Sheik or Coastal Grandma?
I would vote for Rich Uncle Sheik.
You think so? Rich Uncle Sheik just seems like, who's talking about their uncles? Nobody's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I feel like if your uncle's rich, you probably never see that motherfucker. Yeah,
it could be Rich Auntie Sheik, right?
If your uncle is rich, he's probably a bad fucking person.
Right?
Yeah, he's probably across the globe in Dubai doing some shit that is unmentionable.
I say Coastal Grandma.
Yeah, I'm leaning with Coastal Grandma too.
Coastal Grandma is correct. Coastal Grandma is correct. A lot of florals and botanicals, contemporary wood.
It's my Coastal Grandma's house is what you're describing.
It's your Coastal Grandma's house, exactly. Last one to break the tie. Which of these is real? I did some alliteration here. Dopamine design or serotonin stables?
I'd say serotonin stables, because serotonin is like the soothing shit, right? I don't think, and dopamine is like the exhilarating shit. I don't think anyone wants to be in an environment where you're just exhilarated all the time.
They both sound real, but I think serotonin. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'll go serotonin as well. Great brain chemistry analysis by Tyler.
Yeah.
You are all wrong. It is dopamine design.
What the hell does
dopamine design? Apparently,
I feel like it's over. I feel like it's
like a fucking carnival, bro.
I feel like it's based off a simplification of what because Tyler's correct.
It's very Gen Z. The idea is to celebrate self-expression and personal style in your home decor. So it often is a little chaotic. People got like purple mirrors and shit like that. Colorful, big colorful statement chairs. Exactly. Things that sort of like explain why you're happy, when you're happy, what makes you happy.
Did you see the poll? And I know you're a millennial, so I'm not pointing my finger at you as a Gen Z person, but did you see the poll that said Trump is more popular with males in Gen Z than he is with the males in the baby boomer generation? That's surprising. That was a bit startling to me. And his numbers in Gen X are better than his numbers in the baby boomer generation too, actually.
I feel like old people have way less tolerance for people who are full of shit. I think that might be a factor.
I think also, I really think like him getting shot. I saw this image from people posting. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, bro. Like, what a fucking legend. Oh my God. Like, I'm seeing like these.
I think some of that like YouTube bro culture is contributing to that.
That are like, really leaning in on him a little bit. So yeah, fuck him.
I think it's fair to say I stumped the olds though.
Yeah. We were 1 for 3.
I think we were all 1 and 3.
I should have went with my gut the first time though. I thought you were trying to trick me.
You did that's my son's getting this drilled into him right now. It's the gay kid thing of go with your first instinct. Go with your first. Don't sit there and overthink it. You'll convince yourself of every possible answer.
Tie myself in a fucking knot, bro.
Yeah,
it's over with.
All right. That's all the time we got. We will be back. I'm so excited for Thursday. We have the first Jenkins and Jonez Bowl between Tyler and Jackson, University of Miami versus USC. I've done my pre-game visit with USC. I'm scouted out. I got my storylines. I'll tell you, there's a key injury in South Central that we've got a little concern over right now, but I think we'll be good for Thursday. I still need to visit Miami and get my storylines up so John and I can bring you the most professional broadcast possible.
Newsman Guardy with the hard-hitting journalism, baby. That's what they pay him the big bucks for.
Tyler, do you want to tease our halftime guest, or do you want to leave it a surprise?
No. Just give it to them. Let them know.
Yeah, let's put it out. Well, we are going to have
Beyonce,
who I think is the best fucking mind in college football journalism, joining us, and that's Spencer Hall. So he's going to be our special halftime guest.
And we're not going to let him talk about actual college football at all. Only analysis of the video game.
Full silly Billy mode, baby.
Yeah.
I'm afraid he's gonna call me Cliff Kingsbury. It's gonna be bad. I don't want that title.
Actually, that'll be a good topic of conversation for John and I, is which USC or Miami coach are you both resembling the most as we're go through the game?
I'm worried about the Cliff Kingsbury era.
All right, that's all the time we got. We'll see y'all Thursday at 11 a.m. West Coast, 2 p.m. East Coast for the Jenkins and Jonez Bowl. Bye.
Bye.